Hello and welcome to Fulton Street Beats. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. And most of you are because, well, it's a new channel. It's a new channel that, used to be an old channel. What do I mean by that? I used to have a channel called Baker Percussion's Wicked Nation Custom Drums. And I built custom drums and laid down a lot of backtracks and things like that. Kind of bringing the channel back. Been on a 5-year hiatus from drumming and building drums. And decided to get back into it, but at the same time, have some fun and build a little studio here and acquire things again and have fun doing it and maybe share the experiences along the way. A lot of you know me from my PCP channel, and that was M&B PCP review. And that, for you that don't know, is a high-powered air gun channel, which I am sad to say is no more. And it's no more because, well, I decided to do the things that I enjoy more. And while I still enjoy my high-power pneumatic hobby, I enjoy it for me, and sharing it is not something that I'm going to do anymore because PCP world's an uptight world. And a lot of you who are into it know that already. So I decided to take a step back and look at the things that I really enjoyed in life and stick with those. Well, because music really unites everybody, doesn't it? To a point. So we're going to do that. And maybe we can learn some things along the way. I'm going to be doing quite a few reviews of new products. And we can start that today with a few things. I'm not sure how this is sounding right now because I'm still playing with the perimeters, but this is the BM800 condenser microphone. And it's actually pretty cool. The mic is very sensitive and very, very touchy, but it works really well. The sound card that it comes with, some phantom power, and I'm not a big fan of that, although it does have lots of effects and we can do echoes and everything else. We can do a lot of different things with this. However, it doesn't produce the milk. I've tried this with a different sound card, and the mic works really well. With this particular one, what we're running right now, and I'm going to run this for a little bit, see if we can get some perimeters adjusted better. Maybe it's me. It's not the best, but it works. If you're looking to start out and you need a podcast mic or something of that nature, it works pretty good, I guess. A lot of connections and a lot of different effects, which is pretty cool. A lot of different funny ones on there. But I didn't buy it for the effects, really, but it is cool. And what's really nice about this is we can run some backing tracks into it, and it has a separate knob for background music or a back intro music, ending music, whatever you want to do. And you can fade it in, fade it out as you go. However, I will not be doing that today because this is my second attempt at this introduction video to this channel. Because as you can see behind me, my monitor speakers are gone. My studio monitors. They shit the bed on me today. And I was doing some work in here and I moved some stuff around and I set them back and plugged them in and they were dead. So they are now in the trash. But they were getting old. They had their use. So I will be doing some other studio monitors here. I'll probably order up some tonight. I have some in mind. I'm not going to tell you what yet, but I have some in mind. And we're going to do this entire studio on the cheap and try to get the best results we can. So I hope you'll join me for that. And for those of you who don't know, there is a backup channel. It's called Fulton Street Beats 2. There's a few videos on there already. If you want to go over there and check it out, I got a great one for you guys. If you know that I use this beautiful Roland electric drum kit, it's a VAD306, and it sounds amazing, and it's got great triggering and a good module. Very impressed with it. We'll get into a discussion about the Roland kits and my opinions on them, as well as other electric kits shortly, because they do have some downfalls to them. They do have some things that that are not up to standards. And if you come from an acoustic drum background like I do, you'll quickly notice these things. However, they do the job that they do very well. And I decided to wrap this one in a beautiful aqua blue sparkle wrap that cost me $16. Let me repeat, $16 off Amazon. I used some craft wrap, craft quality, and it was the color that I wanted because I wanted it to be reminiscent of the Sonor Martini kit. And I think I accomplished that really well and very cheaply. And the best of all, the factory wrap that's underneath has not been touched. So if anything, this wrap is protecting the wrap underneath, because only one little thin strip about yay big is sticking to the old wrap. So it's easy to change, it's easy to redo, and if you're like me and you like working on things, it's kind of Zen-like. So that's fun. And I got a how-to video up on my secondary channel, if you care to check that out. We'll be doing some other videos about maybe how to, and I got one on how to adjust your double bass pedal, if you're wondering of a good starting point for your double bass pedal. I'm running a cheap DW 2000 series. I've used them for years, and I see no point in upgrading to another series when I've become accustomed to these plenty fast enough, and they tend to last me. So that's cool. But let's talk about some other fun stuff, because I got you here and you like talking. I got a good friend of mine. His name is George, and George acquires things. What do I mean by that? George goes to rummage sales, estate sales, every sale that he can find, he goes to, and he comes up with things that are just odd. Sometimes they're really cool. So my backstory: my daughter wants to play guitar. She's 9. Both of them do, 8 and 9, and they both, one wants to start playing bass, one wants to start playing guitar. So I started looking for guitars for her, and she's got one in mind, and it's quite expensive, and I'm on the fence about it. Anyhow, I go to George's, and we're sitting out in his backyard, and we were discussing how my daughter wants to play guitar. And he says, well, I got a Les Paul. And I said, you do? He says, yeah, you played it. Do you remember? And I said, George, I've never played a Les Paul that you have. I would remember something like that. He goes, no, I'm pretty sure you have. Well, I hadn't. So he was mistaken on that. I said, but I'd like to see it. So he brings me out a gig bag. It's like a cheap looking gig bag. And I unzip it. And inside this gig bag is this Les Paul-esque looking guitar, but definitely not a Les Paul. And I said, well, what is it? He says, it's a Gibson. And I looked at George and I said, George, this is not a Gibson. And he goes, well, yeah, it says it right on the back. And I kind of rolled my eyes in my head. I should have known better than to do that. I turned it over, and sure enough, on the bolted on neck, it says Gibson, and it's a bolted on neck. I know. Well, what this was a Gibson / Baldwin student education guitar. And these were handed out to schools, music schools and such, in a collaboration with Baldwin Music and Gibson. So, yes, it does say this on the back. So, let me show this to you. Here it is. And as you can see on the back, Gibson Baldwin Music Education. Excuse me. Now, this guitar is mint. There's not a scratch. There's not a ding. Almost. It didn't look like it ever been played. And the only thing it was missing was the little cover for the switch, the selector switch, for your rhythm and treble, your pickup location. That's about it. And it's got decent tuners, and they call these things Spirit. Now, I tried to do a little research on the Spirit guitars. And there seems to be a little bit that's known about these educational guitars. One was that some of the Spirits were made actually in Nashville by Gibson. And some were produced in the Epiphone factory in China. Well, which one's this one? I don't know because I don't know what year it is. I found very little information about these ones with the pick guards. There is ones without the pick guards. If I had to guess, I'm going to say early 90s. Although if this was an 80s model from the 80s up to 84, we would know that the Spirit would be made, judging by the Wikipedia information, that it would be made in the USA. Do I believe it was? Probably not. But who knows? Maybe some of you out there know more than I do. This is now a wall hanger for me. And it's a good looking guitar. It's actually got some nice weight to it. And if you notice the big difference is, if you look down here, look at this. Look at this bridge. Pretty crazy. It's a different setup for sure than a Les Paul, but it's a Les Paul style. It needs some setting up still, but the fretwork's nice. Doesn't catch, doesn't bind. It won't. Nice and smooth. The neck's a little slow because, of course, it's glossy and it's, well, like new. The only mark on this guitar is a little chip nick right here that I did. That's right. I did it. I did it yesterday. And that sucked. But it's a unique little piece of Gibson history. I never knew that they made student guitars, and anything that ever said Gibson on it, I thought was made in the U.S., but apparently not all were. But it's pretty good. Cool. These things cost around $139 as I read new. And I've seen this particular model with a pick guard, my limited research that I've done, I've seen these things sell from $100 plus shipping. They were in pretty bad shape. I've seen a body for one go for over $100, just the body with nothing on it. That was pretty beat up. And I've seen them sell up to $600 if they looked at reverb. And was this a $600 guitar? I don't think so, unless it's super rare, but no, not in my eyes. It's pretty cool to have. It's just going to be a wall hanger. So like I said, George comes up with interesting things. And I ended up with this. I traded him a rifle scope for it. And I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was a cool thing to hang on the wall. So I did that. My daughter's not interested. It's not the right color, but she does love the Les Paul shape. Go figure. So what else do we have here? Well, George also had a 4-track. And I was interested in a 4-track for the studio. But when he said he had one, I didn't realize it was a Tascam cassette 4-track. And I was like, George, I really don't need a cassette 4-track for the studio, so I'm going to pass on that. And this thing was brand new in the box. He says, Mike, it's brand new in the box. It's a Tascam. Well, it's sitting here. I ended up with it. Why'd I end up with it? Well, because he needed a Allen shooting rest, and I gave him one, and he gave me this. So this has not even been hooked up yet. This is the Tascam. This is the Portable Studio Porta O2 MK2. It's brand new. I'm the one that took it out of the package. And even like you open up the tape thing, even the tape head inside, everything is new. And I said, well, that's cool. Whatever. We'll just put it away. I won't use it. The other day I pulled it out and I decided to give it a look up on Reverb. I like Reverb in case you can't tell by yet, but they're $399 in this condition used. I shouldn't have opened it, but I did. Will I sell it? Probably not, because it's a cool piece of nostalgia. Now that I know that it's actually worth something. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then I had someone send me, as soon as I started the channel, I don't know who sent it. It's nameless. It came from Sam Ash. But it's a Samson Graphite M25 MIDI controller. Why would somebody send me a MIDI controller? I don't know. I've never even used them. But we're going to try. But now that means I need to upgrade everything because I'm running different varieties of Chromebooks, which really aren't the best for this type of thing. For instance, this one requires a Mac or PC, and well, I don't have a Mac or PC. So I've been looking to get a new PC anyhow, so maybe that's my excuse. So anyhow, I hope you guys will join me on this journey and join me setting up this studio and stocking it with various things. I have various turntables. I'm a bit of an audiophile, and I have various turntables. I like old school. I like vinyl. I like first presses. But I'm always looking to do things also inexpensively, the best for the money. And I'm not the audiophile that goes out and has to have it because it's the most expensive. I have to have it because, well, it pleases the ears and it sounds good. Another example of that is these Monoprice Stage Right studio monitor headphones, isolations. These things cost me $30, and I can't complain about these at all. They work phenomenally. I was going to use them as I'm making this video, but I just haven't. I bought them actually for the e-kit, but I find myself using them over here more, doing any mixing that I'm doing, simply because they're so flat, and that's what we want with a good studio headphone. So I can't complain about these. Good build quality, nice and light, and they don't fatigue the head. So that's pretty cool. So that about wraps it up today, I guess. It's good to see you. And for those who remember, it's good to see you again. I lost all my subs, closed the channel down, and I apologize. But let's take this to the next level. Let's build it up from where we are. New home, new big Victorian, new studio. Let's get some things, review them, give you some honest opinions, learn some things. Maybe you guys can teach me some things too. And enjoy this channel together the way it should be. And if you're a drummer, if you're a guitarist, I'll have a little something for everybody. An audiophile, you love turntables, high-end audio even, or if you want to know how to build your own speakers, your own flat panel speakers, if you want to do anything. I do all this stuff, and maybe we'll even build some more custom drum kits along the way. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to Fulton Street Beats, and I'll be talking to you real soon. Don't forget to hit that like button, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.